Hi everyone, how you going? So I'll just wait for a few minutes until I see people coming in. I have an issue which I wanted to discuss with you guys, how the cashless debit card is impacting people who are forced into isolation. Either we have a situation with a card holder at the moment that has got a major issue happening, and I'd like to discuss that. So last week you would have seen my lives talking about one of our cashless debit card holders was going into surgery in hospital, and she's returned, and there's a possibility that she's returned with COVID. Today she's been and got a test, and at the moment she's got to wait for the results of that test, but she has been ordered to isolate totally. Now, she was already having problems accessing medical supplies and medicines online, right, because the card doesn't work for online. So she was asking Indu, could they please transfer her payment to her regular bank account this fortnight so that she's able to transfer money to friends and family outside of the home, so that they can go and do shopping and go to the chemist and buy what she needs, right, and drop it at her door, because she can't leave the house. And she won't know for about 3 days whether this is a positive COVID or not, but she's very, very sick, okay? She's very sick. And considering she's just come out of surgery as well, on top of that, she's not well. So just bear with me, because I've got miles of message in my message box, and I want to get things pointed out because there's a lot of things going on with this. So she's rang Services Australia because she can't purchase her medication or transfer money to anyone to get the things we need, and paying online for delivery incurs delivery fees on each item from whatever, and not everybody's going to deliver, you know what I mean? Sorry about the messages. So the COVID testing clinic has told her to contact all family and friends, right, and transfer their money to be able to pick up and drop off what they need at the door. We can't do that with Indu. So I'm battling them to have my pay put in my regular account fully, so that I can OSCO pay people to get what we need without added costs and waiting times. Now, she was on hold for quite a while, right? She's trying to organise scripts and meds, and she needs access to cash, and she needs to notify the specialist hospitals that she's been at and the theatre staff of the test results. This is a serious issue, okay? She did tell me how she's feeling. I'm not going to explain that, right? But she's not well. She was on hold for quite a while. So she's been told to ring them back tomorrow, and that it will most likely be declined for her being able to put money back into her own account, to be able to get her pay into her account this week to do all this stuff, right? But it will need to go to somebody else's account. Now, go figure. So what they're saying to her is she's got to ring back tomorrow, because nobody could give her an answer today, right? This was at lunchtime. And then they won't allow her to transfer her funds or the funds back to her account, but they want her to send the payments, you know, the money to another person's account, which is crazy, okay? They want me to give someone else full control over that fortnight's pay. This is ridiculous, all right? So, this has really annoyed her. Of course it has. But the thing is that she's, in order to do funds transfer, right, there's extra things needed from the chemist, there's extra things, you can't leave the house when you're in isolation in this situation, right? And it forces card holders to have to pay delivery fees on top of the cost, whereas if they could just transfer the money to their own account and transfer it to her friends and family, they can go and buy what's needed, drop it at the door with no delivery fees on top. I mean, what's Coles? $15? I don't know how much a taxi or whatever service charges when you ring them up and say, can you go and get a script from the chemist for me? You'd pay the taxi fare and you would pay that as a delivery fee or whatever. You know, this is ridiculous. All right, but they won't budge. They won't budge. And when you're counting on every penny to live on because you're already below the poverty line and expected to just ring up and get things delivered and pay individual delivery prices, but what? And she's already had trouble with not being able to pay for medicines because the places that she would normally order from are banned up for her anyway. This is just crazy. It's just ridiculous what they're doing. So she's got a call back tomorrow. Her pay goes in the bank tomorrow, and she was told that after it goes in, the same rules apply about her trying to get it transferred to her account. They want her to transfer it to someone else's account. This is ridiculous. They won't transfer it to her account. Right? By her asking it for her to go to her account, the answer will be a flat out no. The alternative is, right, that she would have to ring them. So if she's going to buy something from one place, she's got to ring them to get approval to get that cash transferred individually, which normally takes 2 business days if they approve it. And then she's got to do the same if she's got to order something from this business as well, which is more, this is just crazy what they're, everything takes 2 business days. However, if she asks for a funds transfer before 2:30 p.m, she can ask for what's called a RTGS. I knew the message was coming. An RTGS payment, which charges her $10 per transaction minimum, right, depending on what bank she's with. Westpac are listing their RTGS fees as $20 upwards. NAB charge between $10 and $35, okay, to receive an RTGS payment, which is like an instant payment. So she could be, they're being right. This person is in isolation, very sick, awaiting the test results to see if she has COVID. Okay, she's just come out of surgery. She has to notify the theatre, the hospitals, everybody she's been in contact with, just in case. Meanwhile, she can't leave the house. She needs food delivered. She's going to need things done, and they won't let her have access to the cash. Right? What they're saying is, we won't let you have access to your money, but you can give us somebody else's bank account, and we'll give it to them. Yeah. Face palm? Double face palm? Now this smacks, it flies in the face of all the LMP rubbish that was being touted to make the public believe that the card was good. If we think back to the ABC 7:30 report from 2019, where Faye Whiffen was, well, they can just ring up the department and transfer extra funds if they need it. No, they can't. They have to go through all of this, right? And if a cashless debit card holder is in isolation and needs to transfer funds to people outside, right, to get stuff that's needed, they're not allowed to get the cash into their bank to do it. I will keep you updated on this because, you know, this is going to be quite an ordeal, right? In the past, we've seen card holders charge that RTGS fee. I had one card holder that was trying to pay their car registration and they couldn't get it done. Indu agreed to transfer the money. They transferred the money, but the person's bank took $10 out of it, so they still couldn't pay the car registration because they were $10 short. Right? This has got to stop. You know, there are people out there that don't have family supports. and don't have anybody that can help, right? And they would have to rely on being able to put the money out front for a taxi driver to go and deliver stuff and pick stuff up. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So I'll keep you updated, people. But this is the reality for people on the cashless debit card who are in isolation. All right, whether or not she's got COVID or not, she's in isolation. She has a bad enough time not being able to access medical supplies because the card doesn't work at most places. Right, but to now block her from being able to transfer or access her money so she can transfer money to friends and family so they can go to the chemist, they can go to the stores and they can get what's needed. Because remember, nobody else is allowed to use your card, and she's already been in trouble for that, leaving the card at home when she goes to hospital for surgery, right, so that, you know, it can be used for food and bills for her children. This is disgusting. And this will be followed up on, and I will update you when I have more information of how she goes tomorrow with another fight with Indu and Services Australia, and then we just got to see how she goes with the results of her PCR test that she had today. Okay, and yeah, that's the only update I've got for you on card holders at the moment, and it's just... So if you are a cashless debit card holder and you've been forced into isolation and you weren't able to access extra funds to be able to send to people to get what you needed, please send us in inbox what your story was and how you coped, or how you got around this, or did you just go without? Because this is cruel. This is cruel. This is beyond cruel, what they're doing to people, right? Everybody else outside in this world, if they've got some money in the bank, can transfer money to their friends without any problems, and they can get their friends to drop what's needed at the door. Cashless debit card holders are being asked to send money to somebody else's account or risk fees and delivery fees on everything extra on top of what that they can't afford. All right, it's cruel. All right, people, I'll talk to you later. See ya.